Good day from KY3 News. A new center in the Ozarks helps young people deal with their mental health. That is almost done, and it's been in the works for nearly 2 years now.
Chris Bryant joining us live in our newsroom at noon. And Chris, you're sharing what Greene County leaders are saying about this project.
Yeah, good afternoon, Emily and Steve. You know, it was this morning that Greene County Presiding Commissioner Bob Dixon gave his State of the County address, and one of the first things he discussed was that new mental health campus called the Youth Resiliency Campus. Now, the campus is designed to serve youth and their families in the area. It'll have a 24/7 youth behavioral crisis center, feature outpatient programs, a partial hospitalization, and a long-term youth residential facility. Funding came from $5.3 million in ARPA fundings allocated from Greene County, $1 million from the Department of Mental Health. The residential portion was funded by $5 million allocation in the Missouri state budget. Now, this spring, stakeholders got a tour of the campus, and Commissioner Dixon says that this facility is something that is desperately needed in the community.
What it's really going to offer is a full continuum of service, but to have a 16-bed inpatient hospitalization option for the highest risk youth is a major step forward for this community. There are citizens who have looked for these kinds of beds in our community, in our region, and in our state, and they could not find them.
Commissioner Dixon also said that that would force those people to have to go out of the state to find the help that they needed. Now, coming up today at 4, you'll hear more about this project and the benefit it'll have in our region. In the newsroom, Chris Bryant, KY3 News.